I tested generic versus brand name batteries. I expected the results would show they all came out the same because a battery is just a battery, right? Surprisingly, that's not at all what I found. Stick around to find out which brands way outperform the others. Hi, I'm Cindy from Smart Family Money. I help you learn how to shop smarter, save money, and save time so you can get back to changing the world. Pretty much every family has this argument that's been going on for years. On one side, you have the person who says, generic batteries are just junk and you're wasting your money buying them. And the other side saying, every battery is exactly the same. It does not matter which one you buy, so you may as well save some money getting the generic ones. If you have that argument going on in your family, you can definitely relate to my questions here. I really wondered, was it worth it to buy those generic batteries, or would I actually save money if I bought the brand name ones that lasted longer? But do they? When I sat down to design a test for AA batteries, I started thinking about how in the battery commercials they always talk about high demand devices. And that would include things like CD players, MP3 players, video game players, or digital cameras. But I realized we don't really have any of those kinds of things that use AA batteries anymore. I started looking around my house at what actually uses AA and AAA batteries. I found TV remotes, a few toys, flashlights, and lots of clocks. We had wall clocks, alarm clocks. My house has a lot of clocks. All right, so let's talk about what I did test. I did want to focus on alkaline batteries for this test, and I do have another video that explains the difference between heavy duty and alkaline batteries if you want to check that out. With the brands I included, I did include one heavy duty battery so I could compare it to the alkaline ones, and that was the E-Circuit heavy duty battery from Dollar Tree. I also included the E-Circuit alkaline battery from Dollar Tree and the Sunbeam battery from Dollar Tree. Other brands I had in there were Kirkland Signature from Costco, Thunderbolt Alkaline from Harbor Freight, Amazon Basics from Amazon, and AC Delco from Amazon. I also included the brand names Duracell and Energizer. Since most of the things I use batteries for around the house involved lights or sounds or movement, I wanted to find something I could test with that included those things. I went looking around and I found this. It's a candy fan with Catboy on top. It's fun. It lights up. I had 9 of these fans and I lined them up with a timer and I filmed them so I could see how long each battery type lasted in the fans. The whole process was pretty fun to watch. It was kind of like a really slow horse race, and the kids and I kept checking in and peeking to see which brand is gonna die next. It was actually pretty exciting. Each round of testing took a surprisingly long 5 hours to complete. That is a lot of footage I had. I did 3 trials with each brand of battery, and I rotated which brand was in which fan just in case one of the fans was different from the others. And I did find that one fan seemed to last longer on each test than the others. But overall, my results were surprisingly consistent. Each brand of battery lasted about the same amount of time on all 3 tests. So you want to know my results? Well, unsurprisingly, the heavy-duty battery did die first. It lasted under 2 hours. A lot of the batteries lasted about the same. They were around 3.5 hours to die. But there were 2 brands that lasted way longer than all the other batteries. They lasted around 4.5 hours, an hour longer than most of the rest. You know what those brands were? Sunbeam from Dollar Tree and Kirkland Signature from Costco. It was not the brand names. It was 2 of the generics outlasted everything else. I had 2 brands that did considerably worse than the rest. One was Amazon Basics, which, based on the reviews, was not too surprising. The other one, though, was Energizer. I was like, what? I was about ready to do a video that talked about how, like, the Energizer Bunny has been lying to us all these years. But before I got too worked up, I decided I better retest that. So I went out and bought another pack of Energizer batteries, and I did another test with 3 of the new pack of batteries and 3 of the Kirkland ones just to compare them. Well, with that second pack of Energizer batteries, the Energizer ones lasted almost as long as the Kirkland Signature. The Kirkland ones still won, though. But it was surprising how much longer that second pack of Energizer batteries lasted compared to the first ones. So I think the first pack I got was probably just some duds, but it was kind of surprising that the Energizer batteries had that bad of quality control. Both batteries were only a few months old. I checked the manufacturer dates on both of them, so it wasn't that they were too old. I think they were just bad batteries. Now, I did not retest the Amazon Basics batteries that did so much worse than others, and I do wonder if they might have done better on a second round. But as I said, there were a lot of reviews of people talking about Amazon Basic batteries not lasting as long as others. So I suspect Amazon Basics, either they just don't last as long as others, or they seem to have a bit of a quality control problem. So I'm probably going to stay away from Amazon Basics batteries in the future. So after I got all these results about how long the batteries lasted, I wanted to look at which was the best value for the money. I had made another video about where you can buy the cheapest AA batteries. So I took those numbers for how much each battery cost, and I put that together with how many hours they lasted to try to get a cost per hour for each battery. When I was looking at the prices, I was looking at the best non-sale price I could find. So buying a larger package of these different batteries, but I wasn't looking at some amazing deals. Because the generic batteries lasted as long, if not longer, than the brand name batteries, it wasn't surprising that their cost per hour was lower than the brand name batteries. It was surprising though that the cost per hour on the heavy duty batteries was better than the brand name alkaline batteries. You would have to use 2 or 3 of the heavy-duty batteries to get the same runtime as the brand name batteries. I don't know about you, but I'm a little too busy to be changing my batteries that often. And besides, the generic alkaline batteries were overall a better deal than the heavy-duty batteries. So I would still recommend not buying the heavy-duty batteries. Just go with the quality generic alkaline batteries. So what do I take from all this? Overall, the generic batteries lasted the same or longer than the brand name batteries, so they're definitely not junk like some people might suggest. And when you look at the cost per running time, there's no doubt that generic alkaline batteries are a better deal than the brand name batteries. The only exception to that rule was the Amazon Basics ones, which really just didn't do well in my test. Personally, I'm going to stick with buying my batteries in bulk, either Kirkland Signature from Costco or AC Delco from Amazon. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.